Have you ever told yourself, I'll start when the time feels right? Not tomorrow, not next week, just someday. What if the reason you feel stuck isn't because you're lazy or broken or behind, but because you're waiting for something that never comes? A lot of people feel stuck in life, not because they don't want more, not because they don't care, but because they're waiting to feel ready, waiting to feel confident, waiting until life slows down, waiting until fear disappears. So days pass, weeks pass, months pass, and suddenly years feel like they slip by. You wake up tired, not from doing too much, but from doing nothing with the ideas you keep carrying. You know you want change, but starting feels heavy, overwhelming, scary, so you wait, and the longer you wait, the harder it feels to move. Let's talk about why this happens. Because you're not weak for waiting. You're human. From a young age, we learn this idea that we should only act when things feel right, when we're ready, when we're confident, when conditions are perfect. But life doesn't work that way. Life is noisy, messy, unpredictable. There's always something wrong. Too busy, too tired, too stressed, too unsure. So your brain tries to protect you. It says, not now. Later will be better. Wait until you feel more ready. Waiting feels safe. Starting feels risky. So waiting becomes your comfort zone. Not because it feels good, but because it feels familiar. Here's the truth most people never hear. The right time is not something you find. It's something you create after you start. Confidence doesn't come before action. Clarity doesn't come before action. Motivation doesn't come before action. They come because of action. But waiting flips this logic upside down. You think, I need to feel ready first. But readiness is not a feeling. It's a result. And if you wait for a feeling that only appears after movement, you'll be stuck forever. Let's make this real. Maybe you want to improve your life, but you say, I'll start when I have more energy. But energy doesn't appear out of nowhere. It comes from movement. Maybe you want to change your habits, but you say, I'll start when things calm down. But life rarely calms down on its own. Maybe you want to do something meaningful, create, learn, grow. But you say, I'll start when I'm more confident. Confidence doesn't come from thinking. It comes from trying. So you wait, and every time you wait, your self-trust slowly fades. Here's something interesting. Waiting doesn't give you rest. It drains you. Because when you don't act, your mind never stops. You replay ideas. You replay regrets. You replay what ifs. Your body may be sitting still, but your mind is running nonstop. That's why you can feel exhausted even when you didn't do much. It's the weight of unstarted things. People often think waiting is harmless, but waiting has a cost. Every time you delay starting, self-doubt grows. Fear feels stronger. The task feels bigger. You trust yourself less. What felt small at first starts to feel impossible, not because it is, but because time gave fear space to grow. Fear loves waiting. Fear says, not yet. Be careful. Don't rush. Fear doesn't disappear with time. It disappears with exposure. The more you wait, the louder fear becomes. The more you start, the quieter it gets. Here's the shift that changes everything. Stop asking, is this the right time? Start asking, what is the smallest step I can take today? Not the perfect step, not the big step, the smallest step. Small enough that fear doesn't take over. Because momentum doesn't come from big decisions. It comes from tiny actions repeated. Big plans feel exciting, but they also feel heavy. Small steps feel boring, but they're powerful. Small steps don't trigger panic. They don't require confidence. They don't demand certainty. They just require showing up. And showing up is something you can do even on bad days, especially on bad days. Let's look at simple examples. If you want to build better habits, don't change your whole routine, just change 1 minute. If you want to improve your life direction, don't plan your future, just explore one small idea. If you want to feel less stuck, don't fix everything, just fix the next tiny thing. Progress doesn't need permission. One day sounds hopeful, but it's often just a delay in disguise. One day when I feel ready, one day when I have time, one day when I'm confident, one day keeps you comfortable. Today makes you uncomfortable, but free. Starting is the hardest part. Not continuing, not improving, just starting. Because starting challenges your identity. It forces you to face uncertainty. It forces you to let go of perfection. It forces you to accept being a beginner. But beginners are not failures. They're brave. Let me ask you something. What is one thing in your life you keep saying you'll start someday? Not because you don't care, but because you're scared it won't work. Now ask yourself, what has waiting given you so far? Has it brought clarity, confidence, peace, or has it only brought more doubt? Success isn't starting when everything feels right. Success is starting when things feel unclear and doing it anyway. Not perfectly, not confidently, just honestly. A lot of people think they need a big reset, a new year, a new situation, a new version of themselves. You don't. You need one small, honest action. That's it. Here's the beautiful part. Once you start, even a little, something changes. You don't suddenly become fearless, but you realize I can handle this. And that realization is powerful because it replaces fear with trust. Trust in yourself. Every small action you take is a vote for yourself. It says, I matter. My life matters. My future matters. And slowly, without noticing, your self-respect grows, not from words, from actions. If you feel behind, hear this. You're not late. You're just early in the moment you finally stop waiting. There is no timeline you missed. There is only the next step. The right time is not coming. And that's not bad news. It means you don't have to wait anymore. You don't need permission. You don't need confidence. You don't need clarity. You just need one small action today. If this video helped you feel less alone, take a moment to like it. If you want more calm, honest life advice, subscribe to the channel. And if you're comfortable, share in the comments. What is one small thing you'll stop waiting to start?